8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by G. Yogaraj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. Health trade unions temporarily call off the strike action. Former Health Minister Kelly Rambukwella arrested. After 3 years, the President has allocated money to the North through this year's budget. FTA with Thailand to bring range of goods to Sri Lanka. The National Building Research Organization has issued landslide warnings to 6 districts. The Online Safety Bill gazetted, enacted as law. 2023 Grade 5 Scholarship Examination, the cut-off marks released. Litrogas has decided not to revise the prices in February. In news overseas, temporary houses being built for evacuees of Japan's Noto earthquake. And in sports news, Jayasuriya, Fernandes and openers make Sri Lanka's day one or the best in test against Afghanistan. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the local news. The health sector trade unions have decided to temporarily call off the ongoing island-wide strike action by 6:30 a.m. on Saturday, that's tomorrow. A crucial discussion on this matter is scheduled to be held on Tuesday, the 6th of February 2024. The convener of the health trade unions, Ravi Kumadesh, said the strike will resume on Wednesday if the talks fail on Tuesday. A collective of 72 trade unions from the health sector resorted to a one-day strike across the country last morning, which continued for the second day straight today, urging the government to address the issues concerning allowances without delay. The Doctors' Union and the All Ceylon Nurses' Union, however, decided to refrain from joining the strike action. In response to the island-wide strike, Triforce personnel were deployed to state hospitals across the country, depending on the requirements at each facility to ensure uninterrupted provision of essential medical services to the public. The Examinations Department today released the cut-off marks for the admission of students to Grade 6 next year based on the 2023 Grade 5 Scholarship Examination. Accordingly, the ministry said the students can check the schools that they have been selected to by using the following link, that is g6application.moe.gov.lk, starting from the 5th of February. The Grade 5 Scholarship Examination was held on the 15th of October 2023 at 2,888 examination centres across the island, with an estimated total of 337,956 candidates having to face the examination. The results were released on the 16th of November 2023, and the cut-off marks for both the Sinhala and Tamil mediums for all the districts were made public the following day. According to the Examinations Department, a total of 50,664 students had topped the cut-off marks in the year 2023, marking an increase of 0.58% in comparison to the 14.64% recorded in the year before. The fees for normal passport services will be revised. The new fee for both online and offline applications will be 10,000 rupees from February 1st, stated the Department of Immigration and Immigration. Litrogas Lanka has decided not to revise the prices of its domestic LP gas cylinders in the month of February. Addressing a special media briefing convened this morning, Litrogas Chairman Mudita Piri said the decision was reached after taking into account the financial difficulties faced by the members of the public. Although the domestic gas cylinder prices should be ideally increased in line with the price hikes in the global market, Mr. Piri said the company has decided to bear the greater share of the loss incurred on account of the non-revision of the rates. After the price hike announced in January, the Litrogas prices now stand as the following rates. 12.5 kg cylinder is at 4,250 rupees, 5 kg cylinder is at 1,707 rupees, and 2.2 kg cylinder is sold at 795 rupees. The Online Safety Act has been published in the Government Gazette, bringing into effect as an Online Safety Act No. 9 of the year 2024. Accordingly, the Act will provide for the establishment of Online Safety Commission, safety from prohibited statements made online, and prevention of the use of online accounts and inauthentic online accounts for prohibited purposes. It is also expected to make provision to identify and declare online locations used for prohibited purposes in Sri Lanka and suppress the financing and other support of communications of prohibited statements and for matters connected with therewith or incidental thereto. The legislation which seeks to regulate the online content was passed in Parliament with amendments on the 24th of January amidst objections from the opposition politicians. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. The free trade agreement, which is expected to be signed between Thailand and Sri Lanka this week, will benefit Thailand's export of automotive parts, textiles, electrical appliances, machinery, steel products, paper, processed food and animal feed, Thai media reported. Thailand and Sri Lanka will sign a free trade agreement this week during Prime Minister Shatha Thamassin's trip to Sri Lanka, said the spokesman Chai Vachrakon. Mr. Shatha has been invited by Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe as a guest of honor for Sri Lanka's Independence Day celebrations from tomorrow until Sunday. The upcoming FTA will be Thailand's 15th contract of this kind and the first since Mr. Shatha took the premiership last year, the Bangkok Post reported. The contract aims to bring Thai goods into the new markets in South Asia by accelerating the opening of gateways for trade and investment. Expanding Thai trade to newer territories while sustaining existing markets is part of the government's proactive diplomatic policy, said Mr. Chai. Although Sri Lanka is a small country of just 22 million people, it is an interesting market due to its geographical location in the Indian Ocean, which is a strategic point for shipping, according to the Department of Trade Negotiations. The National Building Research Organization has issued landslide warnings to 6 districts. Accordingly, Megahakula in Badula district, Ududumbara, Pathadumbara, Udapalata, Pasbage Korale and Delgoda in the Kandy district, Yatiyantota, Galigabua, Kagala, Pavadalla and Aranayaka in the Kagala district, Kotapola from Bathara district, Hagraketa and Valapade from the Nuwara district, Ratnapura and Balagoda in the Ratnapura district are issued a level 1 landslide warning. The warning will be effective until 4 p.m. tomorrow. Former Health Minister Kele Rabukwella has been arrested in connection with his alleged complicity in the procurement of some standard medicines. Police media spokesman DIG Nihaltalduwa told the SLBC that the minister was arrested this evening. The lawmaker arrived at the Criminal Investigation Department premises this morning, complying with a court order issued yesterday. And to conclude the local bulletin, the headlines once again. Health trade unions temporarily call off the strike action. Former Health Minister Kele Rabukwella arrested. After 3 years, the President has allocated money to the North through this year's budget. FTA with Thailand to bring range of goods to Sri Lanka. The National Building Research Organization has issued landslide warnings to 6 districts. Online Safety Bill gazetted, enacted as law. 2023 Grade 5 Scholarship Examinations, the cut-off marks released. Litrogas decides not to revise the prices in February. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
The main news story for tonight, Minister of Fisheries Douglas Devananda says that the President has allocated a large amount of money for development of the North and to uplift the economic standards of the people through the budget for the year 2024. The minister made this statement while expressing views at the Divisional Development Committee meeting held at the Verlade Divisional Secretariat on the 1st of February. The minister also said that since this opportunity is a great privilege to the people of the North, necessary projects to uplift the economic status of the people should be prepared by utilizing the allocated money through this year's budget. The minister added that the attention should be focused on implementing projects that can contribute to the country's economy rather than developing infrastructure facilities such as road development. Many officials, including the Division Secretary of Verlade, attended this event. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
In Washlight tonight, the National Dengue Control Unit says that 3 dengue deaths were reported in the past 20 days of this year. According to the unit official report, the number of dengue cases reported daily has increased to 347. The total number of dengue patients identified so far this year is 7,299. The highest number of patients are reported from the Western Province, and the number stands at 2,401. The National Dengue Control Unit requests the public to be vigilant over the issue and take maximum effort to clean and keep the offices and the residential premises free of mosquitoes. And that came to you in Watch Light.
Coming up, World News.
Headlines of the world news: temporary houses being built for evacuees of Japan's Noto earthquake. Ukraine broadcasters in Japan to study archiving footage. Thalapathy Vijay to quit cinema, announces political debut. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the world news. Temporary houses are now being built in central Japan for evacuees of the 1st January earthquake that killed 240 people and damaged tens of thousands of homes along the Sea of Japan coast. In Wajima City, 18 houses equipped with water tanks will be available starting from Saturday. 550 evacuees are scheduled to move in. City officials say that there are more than 4,000 applicants awaiting housing. The area is still without running water and other basic necessities. A 75-year-old shop owner has kept his business running since the earthquake to help the community. Ukraine broadcasters are visiting NHK to learn how to archive footage. The aim is to preserve material at risk of damage or loss amid Russia's invasion. The team took part in a lecture in Tokyo, hearing from NHK's archive division about how it creates and stores content. They had handed over 3 films containing footage from the 1940s. Andriy Taronov, managing board member of the Ukrainian public broadcaster, supplied said, "This is now part of the Ukraine culture and heritage, and I hope this test project will lead us. We have hundreds of thousands of hours of these materials." Tamil actor Thalapathy Vijay, one of the celebrated performers in the South, announced his political party, Tamil Vetri Kalaham, on 2nd of February. Much to the surprise of his fans, he also announced his exit from the world of cinema. In a statement, Vijay mentioned that he will quit cinema after completing 2 movies, Good and an untitled film, to become a fully-fledged politician in the Tamil Nadu. Thalapathy Vijay announced his name of his political party on February 2nd, days after the general body meeting. His party members will contest in the 2026 elections. Today, Vijay announced his much-awaited political debut in Tamil Nadu. For the past few months, rumors about his political entry have been doing the rounds on social media. The rumors grew louder after he met Class 10 and 12 students and offered aid to people affected by the recent floods. In a detailed statement, Vijay announced the party name, ideologies, and his exit from cinema. His statement read, "According to me, politics is not just another job for me. It is a sacred job. Not just political heights, I understood that I need to learn the lengths and breadths of political acts from my predecessors. I am preparing myself for it mentally. So politics is not a hobby. It is my deepest desire. I want to involve myself completely, hence I will compete one more movie and I have committed and then become fully-fledged politician. This is how I would pay my debts to the people of Tamil Nadu." And that was the world news. And now let's move on to development news. The Colombo port would be converted into a green port by the year 2030, and initiatives towards this are now taking place. Chairman of Lanka Ports Authority, Kirti Bernard, told the Port of Colombo Capacity Building Project Workshop organized by the Colombo Plan on Wednesday at Courtyard by Marriott. He said that the International Maritime Organization has stipulated that all shipping should be powered by dual energy sources by the year 2035 and that by the year 2025 all of them should be running on green energy. And that was the development news.
Moving on with sports news.
Sri Lanka ended day 1 in the total control of the test. Nishan Madhushankar and Dimut Karunaratne have absolutely pummeled the Afghan bowlers in an hour and 10 minutes that they had to face today, scoring 80 runs in just 14 overs. That means the deficit is now just 118 runs after Afghanistan had been bowled out midway through the third session on for 198. Only Rahmat Shah was 91 played an innings of note, while there were others who got start but could not go on. There's a 3-wicket apiece for Asitha Fernando and Prabhat Jayasuriya, while Vishwa Fernando grabbed 4. Sri Lanka also fielded well through the day, exemplified by Sadhira Samaravikrama's clever play to dismiss Shah. Afghanistan, by contrast, showed some ill-discipline with the ball, rarely testing their Lankan openers, who, for their part, were too quick to pounce on anything to lose. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, Cathay Pacific will be launching direct flights to Sri Lanka from Hong Kong after a lapse of 4 years. The airline will operate 3 flights per week, and the first flight landed in Colombo yesterday. Country lead Sri Lanka and the Maldives of Cathay, Harish Kiran, said that Sri Lanka tourism is picking up and there is demand for this sector, and this was the prime reason that they relaunched this route. We also launched Chennai simultaneously and will fly 3 times a week there as well. The airline will also re-add Malé to their radar soon. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, the government of Sri Lanka has made arrangements to borrow $150 million from the International Development Association of the World Bank Group to finance the implementation of Financial Sector Safety Net Strengthening Project. The Financial Sector Safety Net Strengthening Project will contribute to strengthen Sri Lanka's financial sector safety net with focus on Sri Lanka's deposit insurance scheme, which is managed by the CBSL. That is economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Weather report.
And finally, the weather report. The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the eastern and Nuwa provinces and in the Polonnaruwa district. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the central and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts after 4 p.m. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts during the morning hours. Public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. And before we conclude this bulletin, let's get back to the headlines once again. Health trade unions temporarily call off the strike action. Former Health Minister Kalia Rabukwala arrested. After 3 years, the President has allocated money to the North through this year's budget. FTA with Thailand to bring range of goods to Sri Lanka. The National Building Research Organization has issued landslide warnings to 6 districts. The online safety bill gazetted and enacted as law. 2023 Grade 5 Scholarship Examination cut-off marks released. Litrogas decides not to revise the prices in February. In news overseas, temporary housing built for evacuees of Japan's Noto earthquake. And in sports news, Jayasuriya, Fernando's and openers make it Sri Lanka's day on day 1 of the first test against Afghanistan. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. Now it's back to your regular Friday night host, Southie, who is back after a good break to take you down until the curtains come down.